Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into Diablo 4 and its latest expansion, Vessel of Hatred. The big question is, should you jump back in? As always, the answer is a bit complicated. It depends on what kind of player you are, and why you stopped playing in the first place. So let's explore some reasons why you might want to return, and a few reasons why you might not. I will also add timestamps in the description. First, if the lack of endgame content was a concern, here's what changed. Since launch, they've added multiple layers to the endgame and made changes to existing endgame systems. I will go over them quickly. Nightmare dungeons have been revamped. They now feature scaling difficulty, so as you progress through higher tiers, enemies get tougher and affixes change each time. Helltide events have also been improved. These world events now occur across all world tiers, allowing you to gather aberrant cinders to unlock Helltide chests filled with high-value loot. This adds more structure to farming resources and rare gear. Tormented bosses have been introduced. These bosses are meant to be more challenging than regular enemies and have the potential to drop uber uniques, some of the rarest items in the game. The expansion brings the Pit of the Artificer, a system of randomized timed dungeons with up to 100 tiers. These offer rare crafting materials crucial for summoning powerful bosses and upgrading top-tier gear. Lastly, you now have the ability to summon Helltide bosses. This lets you target specific bosses for high-end loot, making the grind feel more purposeful and rewarding. No long call to actions to irritate you, but please do consider to like and subscribe. Let's continue. If you stopped playing because of the lack of control over your build, Diablo 4 has made significant changes here too. The new masterworking system allows you to significantly boost item stats and even add powerful effects that can change how your skills work. It's no longer just about basic stat boosts. You can now fine-tune gear to fit your exact playstyle. Additionally, tempering lets you add specific stats to your gear, giving you more control and reducing reliance on pure luck for perfect rolls. This means more meaningful customization for those who love to optimize every detail of their character. If smoother gameplay is what you need, there have been substantial quality of life improvements. For instance, gems now have their own inventory space, which greatly reduces clutter and makes managing your loot much easier. Updates like streamlined crafting materials, improved dungeon pacing, and better gear salvaging make the entire gameplay loop faster and more enjoyable. Performance has also been improved, and ray tracing has been added. Although frame generation currently doesn't work, it's expected to be updated soon. Now, let's talk about two reasons why you might not want to jump back in. First, if you're not into grind-heavy gameplay, this expansion might not be for you. Even with all the new content, the core gameplay remains the same. It's still focused on farming gear, grinding for resources, and improving your build. So if you don't enjoy spending hours grinding for better loot or replaying dungeons, you probably won't feel much different with the Vessel of Hatred expansion. The focus is still very much on combat and gear optimization. This might be an obvious one, but I just wanted to make sure it was clear. Second, consider the season-based model. The story content is still released gradually over seasons, which can be frustrating if you prefer having the full narrative up front. Plus, the monetization model is still there, with a big focus on cosmetics and in-game purchases. If you were hoping for a more traditional, one-time purchase RPG experience, it's important to know that Diablo 4 is still very much a live service game with long-term content in mind. To summarize, Diablo 4 has made significant improvements in quality of life, endgame content, and overall build crafting. However, if you don't like the gear grinding loop and its design around long-term retention and monetization, that this might not be for you. This was a long one with a different setup, but I hope it was useful. If it was, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.